let's talk about mindset for a minute here. You and I chatted about mindset, how you like to study, I like to study it. To me, mindset's like a muscle. If you don't work it out, it becomes weak.
100%.
Yeah. And so if you could share with the listeners some mindset tips that you feel would be beneficial for them.
I think writing your goals down every day is important, because then it's a constant reminder of, you know, like it's just keeping you on target and on track, right? But you gotta have goals that you're emotionally committed to, also, not just stuff you're writing down on paper.
Right.
Another thing too is your environment. You know, you have to put yourself and create an environment for yourself that's gonna serve you and you know, allow you to grow. So that's, you know, your friends, what you're reading, what you're studying, what you're watching on TV or just not watching TV.
Yep.
So really trying to control your environment to put you in a position to grow and to succeed, you know. So if, you know, you got to cut friends out, you got to cut family out sometimes, you got to quit watching TV, you know, all the negative stuff on social media, especially everything the last 6 months going on.
Jeez.
So I really try to control my environment, and I like to be around people that bring me up. And not only in business, but different things. You know, I want to be around people that naturally are going to pull me up and make me better by being around them and in their presence. So that's the biggest thing on mindset. But then also just one thing that I've really focused on too, especially in real estate, is, you know, a lot of stuff goes wrong, and there's just a lot of crisis management and just a lot of stuff that you get hit with, and you gotta. So I've been trying to collapse the time of the recovery time on that. So instead of being mad, like the driveway, instead of being upset, okay, I have a house on the market, I got hard money loan on this thing, like my driveway's gone, it is what it is, I'm not going to be mad for a week, I'm just going to get started on getting a new driveway in place. So in 2 days we're pouring a new driveway. So just really trying to control your environment.
Absolutely.
Is the biggest thing, I think.
Absolutely. You know, I talk about what is your normal? What is your norm, right? And I think there was a study that they did, I can't remember what university did a study, but they basically studied a bunch of successful people, financially successful people, to be clear. And they did a survey to kind of see what was the commonality of these individuals, what made all these people successful. And believe it or not, the biggest factor that they discovered that will predict if a child's going to grow up to be financially wealthy is if their parents were financially wealthy. So all of the financially wealthy people they interviewed already came from financially wealthy upbringings. There were some that weren't, and they became wealthy. And so I always talk about what's your normal. If it's normal, if all you've ever known was financial success, then you don't know how to be poor, because your parents were already bringing you up that way. And if you were born hypothetically financially challenged, then it's very difficult to know how to be wealthy, right? And so what is your norm? And so I realized for me, years and years and years ago, when I started investing in real estate, by hanging out with the SOI, my sphere of influence, of people who were already successfully flipping, seeing what their normal day looked like, it started to change my mindset because I was a hairstylist before I became, you know, I could cut people's hair, but renovate a home was a whole different ballgame. But I one day realized by my mindset changing that, oh, it is normal to pay cash for a house in 2 days with hard money, right? That is normal, because I grew up with that not being normal, right? Like finding money on a Saturday to fund Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Or you only know what you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love how you say sometimes you have to change your friends, sometimes you have to change your family. You're not forgetting them, but if that's not their norm, their norm is not where you want to be, you got to go find sometimes a new set of SOI, sphere of influence.
The reality is your dreams and goals aren't going to show up on your door. Like if you're just waiting for them, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it takes so much just to be in the game and have a shot at accomplishing your goals or dreams, or you want to get into flipping. Just finding a deal takes so much work.
Yes.
So I mean, even if you're going all out, you're putting the time in, you're putting the effort in, you're putting the work in, the study in. You still gotta. I mean, it's still hard because you're still competing against the people who are. That's their normal. That's what they do every day.
Right.
So yeah, I think, you know, it starts with your desire. Like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
You know? And if you want it, you're gonna take the steps and do the things to get what you want, because you have that emotional attachment to it. It's that burning desire that we talk about. But another thing with I'm reading this book right now. It's called "It Takes What It Takes," and the author's Trevor something, but he's he's a sports coach. He coaches with like Alabama football and all these different places. But he talks about neutral thinking, and it's basically the concept is positive thinking is great, but negative thinking is actually 7 times more detrimental, or like negative thoughts are 7 times more powerful than positive ones.
Yes.
So he talks about just getting to neutral. So if you're in a situation, like, it's okay to acknowledge it, and it is what it is, but just get to neutral. Get out of reverse, just get to neutral, and kind of like find stable ground, and then find a game plan to move forward. And that's something that I've really been focusing on.
Love it, love it. Excellent. Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. How can people get in touch with you if they wanted to reach out?
Facebook and Instagram. I'm doing stories every day. If you want to follow around day in the life or whatever.
Yep.
So on Instagram, I'm Michael.Burns, Burns with a Z. And then on Facebook, I think it's like Mr. Michael Burns or something like that.
Perfect.
But type my name in, you'll see me with a Burns team hoodie on and a hat on, and
that's right.
That's my uniform.
Yep. I love it. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, man, and hopefully the listeners got some value, and if there's anything I can ever do to help with, let me know.
I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, you've been listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM, the show Utah Home Sweet Home. I hope all of you have a spectacular rest of the weekend.